Baruch Hashem, good morning. Today's Samach Vov Elul Shnas Hakel. Today is the 29th day in the limud of the Daf Yomi in the Hemshech of the Rebbe Rashab Tafresh Samach Vov. We're going to be learning Amud Dun Zayin and Ches today, which ends Maimer Ela Toldos Noach. We'll start with Hashem the Maimer Viamer Hashem Avrem Lach Lecha. So, yesterday we learned the Hemshech of the Inyanim of the Maisa Mitzvahs drawing down the which is higher than Seder Zmanim, and not morkov with anything else. And doing mitzvahs at the Kavanah Pnimis is what draws down this What's it mean? Dafka b'Kabbalas oil, when you do the mitzvah, in an oven of Kabbalas oil, where there's no other reason or no other purposes involved in it, that's when you can mamshich this which is higher than oilmos into oilmos, because then you do not have any agbola of zman and makom in it. You don't have any harkava of something else. It's purely etzem haratzain. Etzem haratzain is everywhere b'shava, everywhere equal, and b'meila it could come down and be nimshach in the world down here. We conclude here, mamash. We're going to start here from the top of page Nun Zayin. So, or like one line before that, it says the ba'asiyas hamitzvah b'kavana. So, sorry, we were talking about the b'chol mo'idecha being this type of avodah of kabbalas oil mamash. So even the avodah b'chol vov b'chol nafshcha, which is avarava, tanugim, even those really high avos still contain some harkava, and not enough to have the hamshacha mevchinas makom, the hamshacha of pure etzem haratzin. Dafka, when you do it in an oifen of kol moedecha, but kabbalas oil, so we could draw it down that way. As he says here, the b'asiyas hamitzvah b'kavana sha'adei akdamas avad b'chol vov b'chol nafshcha. When you do a mitzvah with the akdama, introducing the avad b'chol vov b'chol nafshcha, so now your mitzvah is with avad but a limit avad b'chol vov b'chol nafshcha, then mamshichin gamkin gilur, you also draw down a gilur. Aval ikar gilur l'mayla v'lo l'mata. The gilur there, mamshich in that case, is l'mayla v'lo l'mata, not l'mata. The zeshin is where the Shaddai mitzvahs mamshichin b'chinas atzmus herin sefer seder shtashlos. This time we say that through mitzvahs we draw down the atzmus of the Eibishter that should be mamash and shtashlos. Shiur gilur m'chol all the way down here. Kumay v'dal moichin the tefillin v'sukkah chai gavna canal. Like through tefillin you draw down the four moichin. Through tefillin, through sukkah you have makif and demina. Tzitzis, you have lamdes and tzitzis chachma, right? So davka kasher yesh tchila akdamas avad b'chol moedecha. It's only when you start with the avad b'chol moedecha. And the way you're doing the mitzvah is totally giving your yoke over to the Eibishter. Which causes me say for Shabbanim, like it says in Tanya, you need to have two mitzvahs when you do a mitzvah. Two kavanas, when you do a mitzvah. Kavana klolis, you have to have the general kavana of kabbalas malach shamayim. This is the kavana of b'chol moedecha, which allows this etzem haratzin to be nimshach down the mata mamash. Then you could have the kavana pratis hashayach lo mitzvah. You need to have a private kavana which is shayach to every single mitzvah. Yeah, but why do you need both? Why not good enough with the kavana pratis? You have kavana of the mitzvah. So it says that hamshach atzmos the kabbalas oil malach shamayim dafka. Drawing down atzmos is dafka through kabbalas oil malach shamayim. Va'oz nimshach oil, you draw down the light b'klolos ha'oilamos through in the general world ad lamata mamash till it comes down here lamata. PNL, according to what we said here, Yuvan Mashkas Ela Toldos Noach. We asked in the beginning of the Maimer, we said Ikar Toldos Hem Shal Tzadikim B'Mitzvos Hamayis Tovim. So we said, what is he shoyla? So he said, Kavana Hi Al Asiyas HaMitzvos B'Poel Mamash Kabbalas Oil Malach Shamayim. This is doing a mitzvah in actuality with Kabbalas Oil. Shezeu Ikar Toldos V'Gilui. Tini Yesh Toldos V'Gilui. There's also children and revelation. Gam V'Chinas Kavana HaMitzvos V'Av B'Chol V'Avcha. In the Av B'Chol V'Avcha, which is more of a limited Gilui Ratzin. In a nimshach was atzmi, so if you don't get the atzmi, ki'im only ta'asiyas hamitzvah b'kabbalas oil malchus shamayim uve'akdamas to b'chol moedecha. When you do the mitzvah kabbalas oil, you start with an introduction of b'chol moedecha. Alidei ze nimshach b'chinas atzmos there and safe. Through this, you draw down the atzmos of the Eibishter. V'gam ze ikar. I told this v'agil l'mata. This is the main child revelation that we have l'mata. The one that the mitzvah, the revelation we get through kavana pratis in every single mitzvah. The main revelation is only l'mayla. You only get a shine of it down here. Doing a mitzvah itself. We draw down the etzem of the Eibishter, and it comes down lamata the way it is, because it's equal everywhere, it's bligvul. This is what the pasuk is telling us. The ikar toldos v'agilui ein ma'aseh hamitzvos b'poel mamish. Doing the mitzvahs b'poel mamish. Shezeu inin oisin ritzonei shel makim. This is the oisin ritzonei shel makim. So, the Maimer Eila Toldos Noach kind of drew and continued on top of the Mamorim before it and explained how Oisin Ritzonei Shel Makim is Ma'aseh HaMitzvahs. It added over here an explanation how other Eiros come through Kav. Mitzvahs are totally bligvul, Ma'aseh HaMitzvahs. The Ratzon of Ma'aseh HaMitzvahs is different than the Ratzon that comes through Kav. The Ratzon of Brias Oilma the Oilma is limited, the Eiros are limited, the Ma'aseh HaMitzvahs do not limit their Ratzon in any way. They maybe limit, it should only be Nimshach when this and this happens, but it's not limiting it in any way. And we concluded with saying that Dafka with Kabbalah's oil is when we're mamshech this thing. Dafka, when we do it in an oifen of Kabbalah's oil, that is when we draw down this oil. We'll continue now the Maimer Viamer Hashem al Avram. Viamer Hashem al Avram lech chamaretz chachuluhu. Ve'eska l'goy goy, I'll make you a big nation. Va'avorechecha v'agad lo shmecha. I'll bless you and I'll make your name big. Tzarich lavin. Va'alo yodu, it's known the derech when you travel on the way. V'maites Hashem. It diminishes the name. Why does it diminish the name? Because when you're settled in one place, people know you. You travel around, you can't establish yourself a name. What is he saying? That through going, through this your name is going to be bigger. Rashi explains. This is why the Eibishter blessed him with making the name great. Since the name, the way, traveling, diminishes three things, it takes down three things, and one of the three things that it diminishes is the name. Let's say it's Berche, Ve'eschol, Ve'god, V'avarech, V'agel, Shmecha. He mentioned dafka these three brachas. It's from Ma'at the Bonim, it's from Ma'at the name. I don't remember what the third thing is from Ma'at, but these are all included in the bracha over here. So this is what Rashi Taka explains. Through going, will do it. It will be an outcome. Which is not a prevention, rather an outcome. Fine, so we have to understand why. How does it work? This that the way, traveling, makes the name smaller. The reason it makes the name go down is not because the reason I just explained, rather because when you're traveling on the way, you cannot do what the Eibishter did b'menucha like when you're home. So when you're traveling, your mitzvahs lack. They lack the menucha. They lack the doing. B'meila, the Shem gets smaller. Move on. So therefore, to counteract this, to have a gadol shmeka, there also has to be a bigger Indian kima mitzvahs. What's the connection of the name to doing mitzvahs? Sai, because Sai, the Indian of when you travel, it makes the name smaller. And then through this, the other way, that when you do mitzvahs, the name becomes bigger. We have to explain that is drawing down the inner will of the Eibishter. We draw down lamata. The way you draw down is when you do mitzvahs b'poel mamash. Kabbalah's oil machshvan, like we just said in the end of Toldos Noach, Kabbalah's oil. We said, what is b'chol meidach? It's not according to your understanding. It's from the etzem of your soul, which is connected in its core to the atzmos erein seif. There's no machshava, no thought can grasp the Eibishter. You can grasp him through the will of the heart. Peter Shles machshava tfisa beklal. This that machshava cannot grasp him. Koyal b'chinas primis v'atzos and say goes on the inner levels, the etzem, the core of the Eibishter. The ein shayach sham tfisa v'asar there cannot be any grasping or understanding. The tfisa shal de'asaga, grasping through understanding, who rak b'chinas er and say v'shayach la'ilmus. It's only the er and say which is shayach to the worlds. The light of the Eibishter, which actually encloses itself in the world. In general, to the Eren which is in the world, which there you could grasp it through understanding. Fine. Which does not include itself in the world, in a oifen of slabshus, fine. You cannot grasp it through understanding. There's two types of grasping, two types of understanding. Hasagas achiv, the positive grasping, positive understanding. Hasagas hashlila, and the negative grasping or understanding. Hasagas achiv, grasping positively. Hu shemasik etzem hadavar, you grasp the actual thing. Shemasik echumau, you understand how and what it is. Hasagas hashlila, hu shetzem hadavar yef shalahasik. Means you cannot understand it. You could negate things from what you can grasp, right? You can say it's not this, or this is not shaykh to that. The sham einam shayach minan elu, you say over there this isn't shaykh. So you can take your knowledge and apply it in a way that you know doesn't apply there. That's the positive grasping in the early kids shaykh with the aura that's enclosed in the world. It's only a light, a shine of the Eibishter. When it goes through tzimtzum, slavish ba'ilavois, and then encloses itself in the world. Shaykh bazeh. Over here it's shaykh in asaga, the grasping, leidas adavar echomau, to know what it is. Kamoi, how can you grasp it? You see it from your flesh, as is said in many places in Chassidus. How? From seeing how the body operates, you could the heralikus. Which does not even enclose itself in the world. There's no way to have this grasping. Only the negative grasping. It's on you to take away or diminish things that are in what you do understand. Do not apply in any way to the Eren Sef, which is higher than worlds. This was the idea of grasping the wonder. You see how the Eibishter is removed and wondrous from the world. And through negating what it cannot be, you get the quality and the type of the wonder. You say things in the aura you say cannot apply there. You see how great it is and the quality of it. And through this negating and this shlila, you could somehow get episa farstand or episa grasping in this davar mufla, in this Indian. Kayadua umevur b'makam acher. Of course, the shaykh be'eretz of shaykh le'ilmas, it's all shaykh in the eretz of it's a shaykh to the worlds. What we just said, there's Aram Mislabish La'ilamas that comes in, and the earth that's not Mislabish, but that's still shaykh La'ilamas. There's nothing in the even a mufla, which you can apply and say doesn't exist there. It's just beyond any hasaga at all. Hasaga is actually that's actually law. Shaykh Akbar and Shaykh Le'ilmas, so Shaykh there and Shaykh Le'ilmas. There's some shaykhs, there's some connection. To what we do, to what is enclosed in the world. The general era sevim, Shumaker is the source of chinas b'malakam. Therefore, since it's the source, shaykh lishlol, it's shaykh to take away misham pratinyan of certain details. Sheba'ara, you say it's the source, so it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. It's not like this. Abbas was shaykh l'ara klal. That's what which is not shaykh to the ara at all. Ein shaykh lishlol misham inyan sheba'ara. You cannot negate or take away any inyanim in the ara. Machsheini be'erech klal. It's not comparable at the level at all. As it says, gar nidas is b'chalal not sorry. The line. Even though Taka, the same minyanim which don't exist in the Ur HaSeviv obviously don't exist. So when I see a Ara and I say this is not in the Ur HaSeviv, that's the idea. I can say the same thing about the Atmos. So it's obviously not there, right? The idea is this cannot lead us now to understand Oifen. We said earlier that through Yediyas HaShlila, you could get Epis Eichos v'Oifen HaFla, you get some quality, you get some derher, talking only based on the Yediyas HaShlila, but there's something that you can derive from that. It's something you can understand, which is on a deeper level. But here, not shaykh at all. Me'achar she'enoi be'erech klal, it's not comparable at the level, it's not the same level at all. As it's Garni does, it's not this at all. So how from this negative negating can you understand the Atmos? And for sure you cannot get to the next level of having Hakara where you have a derkening, which we said about the Ur HaSeviv you maybe could reach. V'nimtza. See from here. V'nimtza. The shum hasaga, no understanding. Afilu hasaga tzashlila, even negative understanding. Shezel hamadrega, or understanding the negative. Shezel madrega yoser nalas basaga, which is the highest level of understanding. Ein hashayach where in safe. It's not shayach where in safe of the Atmos. V'gam afilu b'ri'iyah the chachma in nitmas, even through the iyah chachma, which is the highest level of seeing and of seeing things. So it's higher than hasaga. Hasaga comes into your machshava. Here this is mamash iyah the chachma. It's like seeing it through the eyes of Seichel. This cannot grasp Atzmos. We have a raya from Moshe Rabbeinu. Commission is more like we said earlier in previous Mamar, a few Mamar ago. Yeah, that we have even in the Sri the Chachma Atzmos and Seif is not Nitbas. The Zeu less Machshava Tzvei Klal. This is what Machshava cannot grasp. The B'chinas Machshava Vasaga Davina, understanding through Bina. Afilu, even the highest level, Shuin and Asag Sachdila, V'gam B'chinas Machshava the Chachma, which is higher than Bina Chashav Ma, Shazel B'chinas Re'iyah. Eino Tevis B'chinas Atzmos cannot grasp less Machshava Tfisa Beiklal, Atzmos itself. Not only is it not nitpas in the neshamas down here, in the higher worlds, even higher than Atzilus, or just maybe even higher than the Chachma, in a nitpas klal. The Gam is Chachma Yilo da Atzilus, or the Mailam Atzilus, in a nitpas b'chinas Atzmos and Seif. Those cannot grasp the Atzmos of the Eibishter. Tell us Machshava Tzvisa B'klal. The Gam is Machshava v'Chachma Hakduma, the early level of Chachma, in a terms b'chinas Atzmos. Avol, we conclude over here. In Zoyar, nit pasiyu, you can grasp from Usa the Liba, the will of the heart. This level, the Machshava and the Chachma Keduma, these high levels cannot grasp. It could be grasped through the reaction of the heart. Now, the obvious question, what is the smile of Usa the Liba? What is this will of the heart? Which can grasp Asmos of the Eibishter. There's two levels of Ava in general. Previous inner love, Vava is an external love. Ava is the Ava Shanil Kaminadas Vasaga. External love is taken from understanding. Through grasping face betterness and understanding and contemplating Belakos. Ava from this, the Ava is born. Right? You create this develops into Ava. There's many ways of contemplation. Either you look at the greatness of the Eibishter, how the Eibishter, whose greatness spreads over the world, how the Eibishter makes alive many different how many are your doings, Eibishter? How great are your doings, Hashem? There's large creations, and many creations, till no limit. Through this you can see the greatness of the Eibishter. So from here, this kind of develops into love of the Eibishter. And then there's other types of love, which we'll discuss later, tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem, how this all ties back to the idea of less machshava, tfisa beiklal, even the highest level of machshava. Although you could have Yediyas HaShlila, that's only with the Ur HaSeviv, but less machshava, tfisa beiklal is, but nitpas iru iu, biru usa del liba. I forgot just at the beginning of the Maimer, I like to read what it says in the Maftech about this Maamer. It says here, Maamer V'yemer lech lecha, V'yemer v'gomer lech kulu, Rotzin v'tainug, the Shnei Etzem. We're going to talk here about Rotzin v'tainug, and how both Rotzin, will, Rotzin, which we discussed at length in the last few Maamorim, and Tainug, pleasure, Shnei Etzem, they're both Etzem, they're both Megal Madeiga Etzem, as we'll see in this Maamer. A guten Tag.